morning, everybody. Thank you. Once again, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So let's take a moment and let's talk about yesterday. I heard a lot of great comments about the day yesterday, the logistics of the day, the flow of the day. But let's just take a moment and just talk about some of the things that you got out of yesterday. How many people, let me ask that question first. How many people enjoyed yesterday? Wow. How many people didn't enjoy yesterday? I know it's a nice sunny day outside, but I will tell you some of the comments that we heard yesterday were people saying, especially, I'll tell you the one that got me most, is to hear a teacher say to a principal, how can we get our name on the screen next year? Of all the stuff that we did throughout the day, how can we get our name on the screen next year? And I thought that was really just a really good segue into how we look at how teachers and administrators work together to create better pathways for our children. And so I just can't say enough of how important it is that we spend this time in this space with our teacher teams to ensure that as we enter into the next school year, that we enter into the school year in a place where we're creating better opportunities for our children. And I always think picking people out of the audience, so anybody want to just take a real quick stab at something they got out of yesterday? Anybody? Well, just in case I ask somebody.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Tatum Daniels, principal of Meridian Park Elementary. And I guess my big takeaway yesterday was the importance of writing and not just simply assigning writing assignments, but for teachers to explicitly teach writing. And during my session yesterday, I also had some leadership actions which gave me insight on how to have a smooth transition into cycle 2 by reviewing the closed readings. So we're going to read the Puritans excerpts from yesterday. Also going to show the video of the teacher just to give a sense to all of my staff. Even though it was an 8th grade teacher, I have a pre-K through 5 school, but there's some things that they could pick and pull from that teacher's actions to kind of lend itself to go into cycle 2.
Thank you so much. Anybody else about yesterday? We got a person right over here, and I'm going to be like Maury and get to the audience. Yeah, I watch Maury.
Good morning. My name is Nana Boone. I'm a teacher at Dr. Bernard Harris. I really like the portion of the P I like was really dug deep into close reading. An issue a lot of us had in the classroom was how to come up with meaningful text-dependent questions. So Sarah, I don't know if she's in here, she did a wonderful job on it. And I feel like that's what teacher PD should be like when school starts.
I don't know who I should pass the hint on to. But believe me, somebody here in teaching and learning all this principle, somebody heard you. Anybody else? Brand new principal talking.
I appreciated the digging and diving deep into the 21st century skills that students would need in order to be successful in college. Just really digging deep into that and getting the teachers to understand that those are the skills and the characteristics that all students need to possess in order to be successful in the school year. So I thought that was really great.
And one last time, let's get somebody from this side of the room. One person from this side of the room. I'm going to see who I can get this mic to. She works with me.
Good morning, everyone. Nancy Gant, ILED CLN1. My biggest takeaway yesterday was that not only is CLN wonderful, but they are incredible to work with. The teamwork yesterday, just amazing. We learned so much, and I think I just learned so much from my teachers in the room. So thanks, guys.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sue Troy. I am the ILED for Super CLN 6. I just want to say that we are still super.
I was not expecting that. So, the other thing that I heard from a teacher yesterday, it's amazing what you hear from teachers when you're sitting down with them. I didn't know principals had fun. And to be at PD and they're saying that we're having fun just speaks volume to the amount of work that it took to actually put this entire event together. So the last thing I'll ask you guys to do before we just talk a little bit about today is just give this whole group that put this together. Let's give them a nice So Dr. Santelises, as we look at principals throughout the district, and we start looking at our first year principals, she says the single most important decision we make at the district level is the person that we appoint to the principalship. And what a lot of you may not realize is that nationally, in the first year of the principalship, there's a retention average of less than 60%. Some school districts spend a lot of their monies retaining principals, but the cost it takes to actually have a principal retrained and put into a school exceeds well over $100,000 in one fashion or another. And Baltimore City, over the last few years, has seen that retention rate rise, which is great for our kids. But I will say, because I'll talk about it a little bit as we go along, we haven't seen over a period of time the increase in our kids' experiences on park. And that's something that's real, and we don't talk about it as much as I think that we should, but it's something that I think that we're going in the right direction for and making sure that our children are in the right place that they need. So before we even talk about just a little bit about that, because it won't be much about that today, I just want to go and just introduce our new principals that we just had to come on this year. Yes, you can clap during the applause, especially to your friends during your CLN, but that would be great. Even that's an applause. all of our new principals that are present, if you please stand. So everybody knows, we also have this year, and I didn't put them on the screen for a reason, but I wanted to acknowledge, we have Deb Moffitt is here, and Deb Moffitt is, we've asked Deb to take one of our schools that we've had here in the district for a number of years that we're looking for going in the direction of Montessori. And we looked at, yes, the district is really diversifying what we are doing here in the district, and just looking at the myriad of things that we're doing here with the type of schools that we have. And so we've asked her to take on the role as the managing assistant principal for this year, and to take that school to greater heights than what we have in the past, and just looking at how we can replicate more Montessori models here in the city, so that we're giving our families options for the kind of schools that we have. So I asked Deb to stand for a second. So let me go back to just how we're doing as a district. One of my favorite movies, and several clips in this movie, to be exact, and Man on Fire. How many people have ever seen the movie Man on Fire? So you're going to see a little piece of it today. There was a movie that haven't seen it. How about that? In that, Denzel Washington is coaching a young child. And I liken the coaching of the young child to what we do for our folks who are teachers, and what our teachers do for what our teachers actually do for our children. So I'm just, if you would just play that clip for me.
Strong swimmer.
Never win. So what do I do?
What do you think you should do? You're the fastest one in the water, you're the slowest one off the blocks. What do you think that means? What do you gotta do?
Get faster off the block.
Get faster off the blocks.
A big swim is in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I was going to end at 150 freestyle.
You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
I'll still be slow.
You're not slow.
I never finished better than that.
Maybe you are slow.
Esta noche con nosotros Mariana Guerrero del periódico Report. Vamos a hablar.
So when I look at that, so the coach is actually saying to the student that you're the slowest one into the water, but you're fastest in the water. Our students face a different reality. If you look, Dr. Alonso some years ago put a many of monies into kindergarten readiness for our entire school district. And we're starting to see a payoff of what that gives us. If you look at, and you see I got first in the pool, last out of the pool, is you look at our KRA results, and you will see that our kindergarten's readiness assessments say that they are at a level, in some cases, that are slightly above the entire state average. We're first in the water. But oftentimes being first in the water for us somewhere along in their trajectory of going from K to 12, actually K to 3 is what we're really seeing. Really, the most other resistance is in that particular area, and our children are coming out the pool dead last. And it's been happening over a period of years. And so as we start looking at different pieces of why our children are there, the things that we need to do in our schools, things we need to do with our teachers, things we need to do with our principals, we know that we're in a place right now where we can make sure not only are our kids fastest in the water, they're fastest out of the water. The fastest out of the water is what we're looking at is going to convert for our children to be at a state where they can enter college at a level and graduate and become productive citizens of this city. What people don't realize often is the citizenship of this city is determined what we do in our schools to get them there. We can change the narrative of what our city looks like by making sure that we're changing what our schools look like. And I'm not trying to put societal ills on everybody here in the room. We can't correct everything that society has tossed and thrown towards our children. But what I say to people oftentimes is that society has a lot of things that take away from our children, but one thing that we can never dispute is that at the end of the day, our children spend more of their awakening hours with us, more so than they do with anything in society. And that's 6 to 7 hours a day. And I don't know who could not agree with our children that come to school, right? I say that. But they're with us a large portion of the day, so we have to rid our vocabulary and our thoughts and our mindset away from, it's their parents, it's all of the other things, it's this influence. What we need to worry about is that we're not teaching their parents, we're teaching them. We need to make sure that that 6 to 7 hour period that we have our children in our schools, that we're doing everything possible to make sure that they get to places where they need to be. So it's not a beat up on anybody, but it's a look at what we're looking at as a district of where we want to have to go to make sure that we are meeting the needs of the citizenship in this particular city. So, as you guys know, that leadership is one of the 3 priorities for the district. And after reflecting on this year, I look at our IOTs and our content teams and our teacher teams. They're in so many different places. Some teams are fully developed and are working very well in schools, and then some are not. We can't worry about, at the moment, not so much of not fixing them, because there's some things that we can fix, and there's some things that we can learn about. And learn very well from our schools that are doing very well. But we have to look at ways in which we can look at our IOTs and our teacher teams and empower them to be able to make great data-driven decisions about what we have in our schools. But we really have to empower them to be able to do that. One of the places that we're looking at is how we coach. Everybody in this room will know we have our coaching in this school district right now. Some are very strong at it, some are very weak at it. It doesn't exist in some places, and we got to figure out how every person in this district, regardless of where you sit, that you are getting coaching that is going to equip you to put our kids in a better situation. You guys will realize, for me, I'm always talking about how we create opportunities for our kids and how we get them into that particular place. And so that's what we're going to spend the majority of our time here over the next few days, of looking at our IOTs, our teacher teams, and how coaching of those individuals will make our schools better. And when I say coaching, I really mean actionable, consistent. Did I say consistent? Consistent feedback for all of our folks. It can't be feedback that is just, this is what you should do. It should actually be actionable feedback so that our folks are getting exactly what they need. When you go into your sessions today, and what I ask everyone to do as you go into your sessions, think about how our kids are first in the water and their last coming out of the water. As you go through the entire day, that's all I want you just to think about how we can actually fix that, and keep that analogy with you as long as you can of how our children are first in the water and last out. So we have, so just so you know, just for the day, there's a lot of things that are planned for the day as we go through. of teaching and learning still does a very big piece of ILTs, but also today, the ILDs are doing a portion with principals as we start going over coaching and the models that we use. We're using so many different models that we're now having to look at how do we extract the basic components that are working for everybody. That is working for everybody so that we can come up with a coaching model that actually works and one that is utilized by everybody that we have in the district. And so I ask everybody to please do that as we go through the rest of the day. So I couldn't stop without doing a raffle. And so, yeah, they did a raffle yesterday, so you know I got to do one today. And so, in that, since Mr. Benson is up front here, I better know Mr. Benson is up front. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And I am going to ask Mr. Benson to pick out the first raffle. The first raffle is Melanie Eberhardt from Harlem Park. And you have to be present to win. I just saw her. So this is and you'll get it either today or tomorrow, it's a $100 gift certificate to make sure. Make sure you find Jackie Hayden in here somewhere today to make sure you get your certificate. And if she doesn't have it, find Sean Conley, he has all the money. I have one more. I'm going to grab somebody else in the audience. Let me see who I can grab. Thank you. Principal White.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, Ms. White. Hurry up, baby. I managed to get this one over. If Western wins, it's not a win.
Tiffany Halsey, Columbia Public School.
So we're going to pick one more. She don't get it? Tamika Daniels from... Is this Mervo?
No, George McMacken. McMacken.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, because the next one...
McMacken.
Is she here?
Right there.
Come on up. Because the next one is, I thought they said Mervo, and I was going to say, this is it's a breakfast for the entire staff at the school. And we can't do Mervo because we lose our whole budget. Folks, please give our winners around the Folks, I ask you guys, please, again, just remember from the video clip about our kids being first in, last out. We will see you again at lunch as we prepare for the rest of the day. Thank you so much and have a good day.